Okay. To call this meeting to order, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. This is the Porter County Board of Commissioners meeting. This is December 3rd, 2019. We'll move right into the consent agenda. We'll have Melanie read that out.
Approval of payroll, November 15th, November 29th, 2019. Approval of claims, November 7th and November 14th, 2019. Treasurer's monthly report filed October 31st, 2019.
We do the artistic.
Yeah, and then we'll have Commissioner Blaney do the artistic services agreements.
We've got Chris Lundstrat, Aaron Sharp, 2 agreements, Andrew Glorioso, Jordan Romersberger, Tom Olson, Nick DeJarles, Zach Flash, Brian Moore, Regin Johnson, Caroline Rao, and Benjamin Leonard White, all artistic services agreements.
Okay, so with that, we have the consent agenda. Any discussion? Open it to the floor.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second for consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. We're going to move into commissioners. I don't think we have any announcements at this point. Commissioners, 2020 Commissioners meeting schedule is in front of us to approve for next year, and I'll open it to the floor.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have motion and a second for the Commissioners 2020 Commissioners meeting schedule. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we have use of courthouse grounds application policy, and I'm going to turn that over to Attorney McClure.
Kurt Ellis worked on putting together a policy procedure for the citizens to request the use of the courthouse grounds. There's also, he was able to put together an online submittal along with exactly what is needed for that application, and also some pictures to better describe what we're, as far as what we can allow to be used and what becomes City of Valparaiso, and then what's also the secured areas of the courthouse grounds itself. I think this application process makes it just a little bit clearer for everyone and formalizes the process.
So what will happen is if someone wants to use the grounds, they'll come in, get an application, fill it out. Then
And they can actually do it online.
Oh, so they can do it online too, and then so now we have a document that we
Correct.
can follow and work through it. Okay.
It sets the timing out. It's got to be 7 days before the meeting, exactly what needs to be part of the submission, that the fact that they need to be present in person. Again, just formalizing the process that we've been doing informally, but basically the same process.
Okay. Good.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have motion and second for the use of courthouse grounds application policy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we got a request. This is approval for Jerome Zakora to continue renting 24 acres of county property located at 400 North at the Norfolk and Southern Railroad easement, which is on the north, the Grand Trunk easement, which is on the south, and 310 West, which is on the west, at a rate of $150 per acre for farming purpose. Throw that, Mr. Sikora has given the county a check in the amount of $3,600 for 2019. I'll throw that up to the board for discussion or approval.
Are we keeping up with the average rate around here?
Yep.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have motion and second for approval for Jerome Sikora to continue renting 24 acres of county property. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we have Mark Barrett from GIS, if he wants to come forward. Morning, Mark.
Morning.
How you doing? Hey, how you doing? You look a little different. You got a beard now. I was looking at him. Yeah, Rhonda, could you also come up? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Floor is yours, gentlemen.
Okay, a little while ago, Rhonda reached out to us to see if we could provide some assistance with sexual harassment training, and our answer was yes, we can. Part of our risk management center was included in the county service agreement that we have with you, so you have access to sexual harassment training within the risk management center. Matt can give you a little idea what that's about.
Sure. Matt Weber with GIS. Like Mark said, it's already available in the contract with the county. We've had great success with another municipality rolling it out in this fashion. The logical starting point is training. The software has many different capabilities, but training obviously is the great starting point. What we do is we'd start with a live training with Kim Ramsey, our software director, I guess, trainer, so to speak, on this. She would get every department head here in a room and teach them the ins and outs of the software. You can get all the departments uploaded at every employee. Then you can assign each training to them with a due date, track the reports, completions, and able to pull, reports for trackability purposes. They're interactive trainings. There's questions to make sure you're, attaining the information, quizzes at the end, certificates to confirm the trainings. And as Mark said, workplace harassment was the traveler's recommendation for loss control, so that's a good starting point, but there's hundreds of different trainings available that are pertinent to municipality operations, so that's where we'll start.
Yeah. So we recommend using this program for the sexual harassment training. One, you have access to it, so there's no cost involved. We have run through it with meeting with Rhonda, and she's familiar with it, thinks it would be beneficial.
Yes, I like it to try out the training module by pages, and I think it's exactly what we need.
And how do you plan to roll this out and implement this? Will this be done after the first of the year, you're thinking? And so could you give us all the departments? We got to go to some. How's that all going to work?
Well, I wanted to get through open enrollment, so I'd asked them to
Yes.
hold until 2020. So depending on if everything goes smooth and we have problems with the highway, because it'll be busy in the winter months.
Right.
I'm hoping late January, February,
Okay.
before spring break.
Okay.
And then is the plan for the department heads to have live training,
Yes.
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 Yeah.
and then the employees to have the computer training? Is that
Correct. This is kind of a train-the-trainer type of situation. And then there's different levels. Rhonda would be an administrator, then the department head has a certain access level. Supervisor has an access level, so they could track the direct employees underneath them.
Is this something then that once a new employee came in, is this part of the immersion? Can this be part of the immersion of a new employee coming? So we train our employees that we have. There's going to have to be retraining,
Correct.
probably every X number of years, right? And then we have the new people that are coming in that also need to be trained as well. So I want to make sure that we're covering everybody, and then that there's a retraining protocol that's involved in this.
It could be a new employee or part of the orientation process.
Okay.
And Rhonda, during this process, I mean, we'll make it clear that, this is going to be mandatory.
Yes.
And then-
There's going to be a mass email come out, that's why I had them present it to the commissioners, so we have your support. Have an email go out to all the department heads, and show them about the live training that we'll have at the date, and then the employee training that'll be all set up through them, with training on how to get on it and log on it.
And then once they've had it, they sign off that they have participated in the training and understand it.
Yes, the department head would get notified, and I also would get notified.
Okay.
And Kim is there for 100% support with any question.
Right.
So we do have a good support person to help out.
Yep.
You've done this in other places, probably a
Yes.
few dozen times, so you're, okay.
And we've had some safety training
Yep.
with facilities as part of kind of a trial run to get it installed and get it up and running, so that somebody here is familiar with it and think that it has the value that would help with Rhonda's.
Yep.
Do we need to vote on this since it's part of our?
Yeah, I think we do. It's going to be policy.
Yeah. So there you go, there's your answer.
Yeah. Motion to approve then.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for GIS to assist the county going forward for sexual harassment training. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign, motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
More work,
Thank you.
more work to do,
That'll lead to less work.
which will hopefully lead to less work, right?
Thank you.
I also wanted just to say, too, this is, again, this shows that this board is taking these type of things very seriously. We need to, this needs to be trained, and it needs to be thoughtful, and it needs to be out there, and we need to train our people as to actually all the signs and everything. So this is something that is long overdue, and I think it's important and the right path, so thank you. First, so bear with us now, we're going to go through some pay applications. Expo Center, we have Keough Mechanical, pay app number 5 for $12,820.25. They still have a balance left. Throw that to the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the Expo Center, Keough Mechanical Corp., application number 5. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign, motion carries. Okay, now we're going to go to 157 Franklin Street, which we walked through a couple weeks ago. It's coming along rather nicely, looking very nice. First two, can we do the change? Yeah, the first two are change orders. Number 1 is Pangier Corp. change order number 2 in the amount of $63,584, and this is to replace existing lintels above 5 windows and provide soffits to accommodate duct elevations. And Continental Electric, change order number 1 in the amount of $24,264 to provide some additional electrical work that we've had done in some of the work areas that weren't on the plans. I can comment on the existing lintels. When we bought the building, the lintels looked like they were installed properly. As we started getting into the building and we started looking around the windows, we found that there was 5 lintels that were replaced backwards. And so we decided that this is the time, if you're going to fix it now. And so it's a big pill to swallow, but it's the right thing to do so we don't have leaking windows for the next 50 years. So we're fixing it right. So those are your 2 change orders in front of you to the board. Any questions?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the change orders for Pangier Corp. Continental Electric. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next is, we're going to do all these at once. Stands Painting and Decorating, pay app 2 in the amount of $14,630. The balance as shown. Pangier Corp., pay app number 4 in the amount of $161,984.59 for general trades. There's the remaining balance as shown. Midwest Tile and Interiors, pay app number 4 in the amount of $65,787.50 for flooring, with the remaining balance as shown. Stevens Engineers and Constructors, pay app number 4 in the amount of $145,178.05, and with the balance, with the remaining balance shown. Continental Electric, pay app number 5 in the amount of $106,943.81 for electrical work, with the remaining balance shown. And EC Babilla, pay app number 1 in the amount of $156,663.03 for the roof. Remaining balance is shown, and I'll throw that to the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for numbers 3 through 8 on pay applications as noted on the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Now we're going to move over to the North County Annex, which is moving along very well, too. I know the outbuilding with the township is primarily pretty much completed now. We're now basically over to the courthouse building, and we still have quite a bit of work to do there, moving judges in and out and redoing judges' rooms as we finish one and move him in and finish the other one. And so now we're playing musical rooms up there for the next 6-7 months to get that work done. So it's turning out quite nicely. First up, we have one change order, Pangier Corp. change order number 2 in the amount of $47,575 to provide vestibule doors and hardware.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have motion and second for change order number 2 for Pangier for $47,575. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'll do the next one separate, too, because it's an allowance authorization. It's sort of different. Pangier, this is an allowance authorization number 1 in the amount of $11,171 to provide keypad function on doors and Knox box, main gate, just some miscellaneous things. This allowance authorization is basically there is allowance dollars in the budget, and we're just applying these dollars toward what's already in the budget. So it's nothing new or additional, it's just, we're just sort of itemizing our allowances and making sure that we have a history of what we paid and where. So I'll put that to the board since it's...
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and second for allowance authorization number 1 for Pangier Corp. in the amount of $11,171. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. And now I can do 3 through 11, all through here. I'll read them out quick. Pay app number 11 for Zilkowski, $206,705.75. This is bid package 1. Kleckner Interior Systems, pay app number 5 in the amount of $47,899 for drywall, acoustic, and joint sealants, remaining as shown. Midwest Tile and Interiors, pay app number 3 in the amount of $21,337 for flooring. Pangier Corp. pay app number 5, bid category number 4 for $181,132.70. Stands Painting and Decorating, pay app number 4 in the amount of $10,925, remaining balance is shown. State Line Fire Systems, pay app number 2 in the amount of $12,473.50 for fire suppression, remaining balance is shown. Arctic Engineering, pay app number 4 in the amount of $73,106.70 for plumbing, remaining balance shown. Mechanical Concepts, pay app number 6 in the amount of $131,014.50, with a remaining balance as shown. Circle R Electric, pay app number 6 in the amount of $75,286.59 for electrical, with a remaining balance shown, and I'll throw that to the board.
Motion to approve.
Second. For this. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Yeah. Before we move on to the next thing, up at the North County building, there's been a lot of work going on up there. This is a building that the county's had for years. We're moving stuff around in there. It's been a pretty big task for a small building. I would just like to personally thank the Buildings Facilities Department and Ray and what those guys have done up there. They have done a lot of this on their own. We were getting prices to go out and move large filing system. I mean, every time we had a big number come at us, we went to our Buildings Facilities Department, and these guys stepped up. They went in there, did the work themselves, saving the county thousands of dollars with our own staff. And it's just very satisfying to sit up here and have a department like that with all the 28 different departments in county government and everything, and to have one that will come to your aid and your rescue on these type of things when you need them. And I just want to thank Ray and your staff for what you guys have done this year. It's been a big year, and you guys have done a lot. And I could go on and on, the jail, I could just go on and on, but thank you. Thank you so much, and I hope next year is a great year for us, too, so thank you. So we'll get next up, Sheriff Reynolds. We have a resolution for disposition of property with little or no value. Good morning, Sheriff.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good. Since we moved over to 800, we have all the radios, and we kind of knew this was going to obviously come. There's absolutely no
use for them from the police standpoint, and we were contacted by the Boys and Girls Club a few months ago and asked what we were going to do with them. So we thought it would be a nice gesture on the part of the county, and it'd be a good help for the Boys and Girls Club. They can use it at all their places. I did contact the YMCA because I didn't want them to be mad at me, and they didn't want them. So
Okay.
that's why we're here.
These are the Motorola handhelds?
Right.
Okay.
From the VA.
Yeah, the old, and do you have your own tower and all that, or how does that work?
Well, they won't need the tower. They would just use them
It'd be more like
basically.
Just UHF?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Great idea. Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second to dispose of the Sheriff's Department's handheld Motorola radios, to give them, to donate them to the Boys and Girls Club of Northwest Indiana. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
All right. Thank you.
Motion carries. Good luck with those. I hope they help out.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Sheriff.
All right,
Good
thank you.
idea. JDC, Becky Lutz, Assistant Director. Good morning, Becky. How are you today? Good. What do you got for us?
Two
That time of year, I
contracts,
see.
yep, Jasper and Newton counties.
So we have a services agreement, which I think we do this annually, right?
Yes,
And we have one for North Newton County and one for Jasper County.
Yep.
And this is, they contract with the Porter County JDC, and they pay us to detain their
kids.
their kids.
Yep.
Thank you for the, thank you.
Jasper's 250 bed days, Newton 100.
What's that again? I'm sorry.
Jasper County is 250 bed days a year, Newton 100 bed days,
And what is the per diem rate?
140.
Thanks, Jim.
Can I do these both together?
Mm-hmm.
Motion to approve the services agreements with Jasper County and Newton County for secure detention of children ordered detained by the courts.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Have a great holiday.
Thanks, you too.
Lance Bella. While Lance is coming up, just to let everybody know, I read his weekly report finally last week because I was on vacation all week last week. You've been busy reading that. You're everywhere. And I am just so excited to see Porter County finally having a very proactive emergency management organization. I mean, you've been out there, and thank you for where you've taken that department this year as well, too. So
Appreciate
this is the end of close to the end of the year meeting, so we're handing out accolades, I guess. But, no, I just want to tell you, I read your report. I was just blown away, all the places you've been and what's been going on there, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we got some heavy lifting here to do here. So we got a quote for a lift truck. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you got going on?
Sure, we've got a lot of equipment and supplies that we have shelving for out in our apparatus bay, and it goes up 20 feet, 25 feet. And so we've been precluded from being able to put some of it on top of the shelves, because what happens is people have to either climb up there, or we've investigated getting a rolling ladder. But some of these things are 50, 60, 70 pounds, and somebody's trying to put it on their shoulder. And it just became a safety hazard. And so we investigated with the help of Attorney McClure as far as getting a lease-to-own vehicle. And so this would eliminate that safety hazard and then allow us to be able to store more things up on the shelves, because we've gotten to a point where we just don't put anything up there.
Your building's pretty maxed out, and I know we're storing up high now. And,
Sure.
And so, like you said, we have to get it down quick, too.
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of
When we need it,
times.
we need it.
So that's the other part with the...
And OSHA, I would bet they don't appreciate you climbing up that.
No.
high.
We just stopped people from climbing. We didn't want the safety hazard, so.
Yep. So, and this is so it's a monthly payment, but we own it at the end, then?
Yes, sir. After 5 years, $1, and then it's ours.
Okay.
I will move to approve.
Second. We have motion and second for quote for a four-wheel combustion lift truck for the EMA department. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries.
That include training? No, but we have talked to GIS. They do have some of the forklift training, because everybody will have to get trained
Yep.
in order to become.
GIS offers that as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
full service.
Yeah.
Incredible.
The database they spoke of has an online class, but then we'll have to do hands-on as well.
All right.
So.
Good. Next up, we have Bartronics. What do you got there? I think this was a radio we missed.
It
last
was,
year.
yeah, it's a portable radio for my squad, and this is a multi-use radio. It's the dual band 800 and VHF, because at times, we may have to talk during mutual aid to Lake County and different counties, as well as we just learned this in the active shooter exercise at Ivy Tech, that as they go into some of the buildings, especially Valpo Fire Department ran into this, the radios, because of the structure, wouldn't work, so they switched to a VHF point-to-point channel. So this allows us to be able to hear and talk to them on that as well.
So this is what's going to be installed into the truck.
It's a portable, so there's a mobile unit that's installed that stays in there. This lets me grab the radio out of a charger and go with it to wherever I'm going.
What was the price on that radio?
It's $3,463. That's charger and everything with it. And that's an E.F. Johnson.
I'll take it from you that that's a good price.
It is.
That was pretty much what we got last year when we bought them all. They locked us in.
The Motorola's were double, so we went with the E.F.
Yeah, the Motorola's are double, and these work just as well.
Yes.
So,
Motion to approve.
Second?
motion is second for EMA for Bartronics for a portable VP 900 portable radio for the Director's Squad car. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. Have a great holiday. Next up, Expo Center, Lori Daly.
Good morning.
I'm going to let you read these contracts out. Do you need them, or do you got,
Oh, yeah, no.
I'll let you read them. I'm tired of talking.
Okay. So every year, we re-up the caterers' contracts. This year, we have 3 new caterers, Aberdeen Manor, El Salto, and Nelson's. And then we re-upped with Berkey's, Martini's, Masters, Picks, The Market, and Leroy's. And then concessions, we unfortunately lost 1, but we still have 5, Tate's, Susie's, B&J, Berkey's, and Leroy's.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have motion and second for catering concession contracts for the Expo Center for 2020.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. How's it going out there?
It's good. We have a
Yeah.
really, really busy month. Several holiday parties within the other departments, and outside of that, we have 5 bar caterings. We have Shipshawana, a dog show, a cat show, a nice big retirement party in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
How's bookings looking out for first, second quarter of 20?
February is always the quietest month. It's a little bit busier than 2 years ago. We would look back 2 years, but they're looking really good. All the normal ones have came back with all the new weddings, and quite a bit of corporates coming, so
So where we budgeted you for 20, how you feeling so far?
a little nervous.
Okay, good.
First quarter's going to be a little rough. But, yeah, we're doing okay, and just keeping a close eye on it.
Yep.
We do, and then to close out the year, we have our big New Year's Eve party, so.
I was going to ask you about that. Who's the band this year?
It's the Unit.
Oh,
So,
Local.
Shout Out is the one we had out of Chicago, and they could not, they were already booked.
they're a local band, right? The
They are.
Unit.
They went with a local band, they
they're
did.
good. I've heard them.
Yeah, Shout Out was awesome, and they were very expensive, so we went somebody local, a little less expensive,
Yeah.
since we were closed and watching finances. But they're going to be great. We'll do great.
Good. Thank you, Lori.
Thanks.
Don Rosen. Is Don here?
He's in
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's on vacation, too. This is for ATN Technology. This is a proposal to supply labor and material for card readers at the Judges Parking Gate area at the North County Annex in the amount of $13,323.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for ATN Technology. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, Ray Cloyd. Hey, Ray. Good. How you doing?
Doing well.
What you got here? I think I know what it is.
We're looking for a camera snake and a locator for plumbing to eliminate some calls from outside sources for Mechanical Concepts. We're trying to get them out of our books. So this would eliminate some of our outside calls.
And they're charging pretty hefty for their cameras and...
Yeah, in June, we paid $11,000 for them to come out to the sheriff's jail and do some repairs there. This would eliminate.
Just in June.
Yep, just in June alone.
And that's where most of it is you're using, is in the jail where they stuff things down
Yep.
and, right, so.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, I think it's money well spent.
I believe so, too.
Motion to approve the low quote from Leap Supply at $11,975.44.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for a plumbing snake for the Buildings Facilities Department with the low price to Leap Supply for $11,975.44. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Rick.
Hey, you done laying carpet now? Is it carpet?
No, we're doing Judge Jester's office, or courtroom right now, and then we're going to go back to the sheriff's and do his.
Okay.
But the surveyor and assessor's office is pretty much.
Okay. That was something else that I want to point out about our buildings facilities. In the past, we've always had outside companies do our carpet. This year, we have had our own facility do all of our own carpet squares through our home building, and we've saved a lot of money, 6 figures probably, by doing it ourselves. And again, thanks, Ray. And there's a lot to choose. It's a lot working around judges' chambers and everything else. It's problematic, but no I mean, it's gone very smooth from our perspective. So thank you again. Highway Department, Rich Sexton. I knew he's here. There he is. Morning. I think. Oh, there she is. Hey, nice shirt. Mine's a different fabric.
Mine's a larger size.
Yeah.
Touche.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to receive, which I think they're receiving now, and open bids for 2020, and this is for all of our highway supplies that we will buy all next year. And so we have it all sourced out, quoted, and now we're going to open these bids and read these numbers out and take them under consideration, and they will be our contract numbers that we'll work off of for 2020. So we'll have asphalt, there's everything in here, stone, all kinds of things, so.
Yeah.
So as you all know, when the bids come in, they're given to the auditor's office, they hold them. Tony from the auditor's office just brought them over to us, and now we're opening them in the meeting and reading them, just so everybody sort of understands how this all works, whether you care or not. First is South Lake Stone out of Hebron. And we'll just let you guys go through all the quantities and quotes and everything, and then we'll, so, South Lake Stone, Hebron, Indiana. U.S. Aggregates, and they're out of Indianapolis, Indiana. They're for stone, because we use all different types of stone. This is Ozinga Materials and Logistics out of Chesterton, Indiana. Whitcomb Trucking out of Valparaiso, Indiana. Ralston Paving Corporation out of Valparaiso, Indiana. Harry Brown Trucking, Inc., out of Hebron, Indiana.
Okay, that's it for limestone. Now we're on.
That's it for limestone. And now we're on what? Slag. Phoenix Services out of Portage. Ozinga Materials and Logistics, again out of Chesterton.
You want to look at it, start looking.
Beanstabor Aggregates out of Hammond, Indiana. Boyd Asphalt out of Valparaiso.
That's it for slag.
That's it for slag.
Now we're on by 2 minutes.
Pavement, paving, asphalt. You did? Good. Central Paving out of Logansport. That's an insurance form. Pavement Solutions out of Middletown, Indiana. Buy Mat Products of Indiana. They're out of Ashley, Indiana.
There is stuff is slag. I'll set this one here.
Mount Carmel Stabilization Group out of Mount Carmel, Illinois. Walsh and Kelly. Town and Country out of DeMont. Reith Riley Construction.
Still by 2 minutes. Last one.
Asphalt Materials out of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Now we're on what? Pavement striping.
Now we're getting into striping, pavement striping. One for striping, and that is the Air Making Company out of Rochester, Indiana.
Next is equipment rentals.
Gets back to what? 100 or 1,000?
Striping.
Yeah. Pavement Solutions out of Middletown, Indiana. What's this for? I'm sorry.
Equipment rental.
Equipment rental, right. G.E. Marshall out of Valparaiso.
and signposts?
Signs and signposts. Fun stuff.
Only one.
You giving me the clip?
I can't do that one.
Stello Products out of Spencer, Indiana.
Calcium and chloride products. Only one of this.
I got it.
My hand.
Great Lakes Chloride, yeah, Warsaw.
Diesel fuels? Maybe? This would take a couple hours to get in.
Yeah.
Is that a sign and sample? Big class number 6 on the front. Oh, no, it's 8, I'm sorry. Line 2. It's all the same.
We accept them first meeting. Okay.
Under advisement. Yeah.
These are all the same companies.
Who is this?
The companies on the envelope, I think.
Petroleum Traders Corporation out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is for petroleum.
This is all part of the same package.
Oh, these are all the same?
Yeah.
Same company.
This is the new one?
This is similar, yeah.
This is all the same company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triple J Mar Petroleum out of Wanata.
Last one of these, and now we have culverts and guardrails after this.
Al Warren Oil.
Aren't you glad you all showed up for this?
Yeah.
Good stuff here.
Plumbing snakes and bituminous. Bituminous.
Good stuff.
Inside.
They come in handy.
Culvert.
Culverts, this is St. Regis Culvert out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Debco Metal Culverts out of Francisville, Indiana. Metal Culverts, Inc., out of Jefferson City, Missouri.
You got an enemy over there?
I think
Oh, I saw it, it said Culverts.
They put it in 3 envelopes.
Yeah, two.
Throwing them at.
3, yes, you're right, 3.
Yeah. American Timber Bridge out of Portage, Michigan.
This last one?
Last one.
Last one.
And the last one is James H. Drew Corporation out of Indianapolis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now we've opened the bids for the 2020 supplies. I'll throw it to the floor.
Well, do they need to go over that?
You guys just approved. Do you guys accept them all?
We have in the past.
We haven't, yeah, we have in the past, except for, usually we stick with one fuel company,
Yeah.
but that's
We're
the
just
only one.
pricing it out.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Take it under advisement, you come back and give us your recommendation.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. Got that much? Thank you, guys.
A lot of work.
Okay, now we're going to move to Development and Stormwater Management, Bob Thompson. In this department, Mike Novotny. First up, we have an ordinance. This is second reading. We have an ordinance pertaining to department fees. This is the second reading. Good morning. Morning. Hey, Chuck, how you doing? Good. Any questions? This is second reading. We voted on this the last time on the department fees.
Motion to approve on second reading.
Second. We have motion and second for an ordinance pertaining to department fees, second reading. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign, motion carries. Next up, we have awarding of a contract for Bridge 84. This is 800 South over a branch of Dog Lake Ditch.
Motion to,
No, we have to award them, right?
We have to award.
Yeah, staff is recommending
oh, I'm sorry.
that the board accept the bid from Gary Up Construction in the amount of $797,572 and award the contract to Gary Up Construction in that amount for this project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to award a contract for Bridge 84 to Gary Up Construction. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign, motion carries. Next up.
Next is, we're recommending a service agreement to be approved by the commissioners. This is for 39 North, and it's consulting services to provide GIS services. I've asked Chuck Miller to give a brief little presentation on what this is all about.
Yep. Hey, Chuck.
How are you? So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to revolutionize the permitting services both in the building commission and in the plan commission. So everything we do with permitting, essentially right now, is paper-based. It's a lot of trading paper around the office, and a lot of times our citizens aren't able to find out at what point their permits are at easily. Oftentimes, it's hard to locate what stage even internally permitting is at. So this is a complete GIS-centric, cloud-based permitting solution that will allow for both our contractors to register with the county online through a website, through an account, that will let them maintain, keep that up, even pay their fees. Through this, the citizens as well, pulling permits, will be able to pay for permits, all the fees, all the paperwork, everything they need, available online. Everything can be done from comfort of the home. Kiosks we can set up here in the building, and completely tracked from beginning to end. So complete accountability for everything that's going through. Everyone knows where everything is at the same time. So yeah, it's an all complete encompassing permitting solution. 39 Degrees North is a Bloomington-based Indiana company. They've done work for state of Indiana, U.S. Army, Navy, Veteran Affairs, very well vetted, great company. They're developers, application developers, and they are detailing this completely for us. We're putting together how we want this thing to function. They're working with us to do exactly what they want, or what we want it to be. So in a nutshell, that's what this is.
Well, I know since we've consolidated all of our departments up there, the amount of traffic and phone calls that come in, just checking on things, is pretty significant up there, and I hope that this will sort of free up our folks to be able to do more things that can turn things around maybe a little quicker or whatever the thing is. So I think anything that we can do to create a higher level of service for investigating these type of things and looking into, I'm all for.
And I think this has been one of the biggest frustrations of our citizens, just trying to figure out what stage they're at and what's happening. This will be great.
You need a motion, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second for 39 Degrees North, which is a consulting agreement for GIS for Porter County to help develop smart permitting for the department. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Chuck. Good luck. Next up, we have Tower Meadow. This is a subdivision, letter of credit, and we have a recommendation here. I will turn this over to Attorney McClure.
After all of our best efforts to make sure Tower Meadows got their paving done, including extending this letter of credit to allow them to have 2019 to get that paving done, find ourselves in December and that paving is not done.
Is not complete.
So, I believe at this point, we're just going to move forward and request the commissioners to approve us to call in the letter of credit and to have that paving accomplished either by a private contract or by our highway department.
Can it be done this year yet, or are you looking for next year?
We'd be looking at next year.
That's what I thought, just checking.
Yeah.
Well, Scott, thanks for all your work on this. I know
We tried.
everything we could think of. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for Tower Meadows letter of credit to where the Board of Commissioners will be pulling the letter of credit for Tower Meadows Estate. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries.
That is a very rare action taken on by the Board of Commissioners.
Yep.
That's why we were so careful of
Very
attempting to not have to.
Yes.
Yep. That's why we have letter of credits.
Yes.
So, next, Bridge 62, this is the big one, over the Kankakee River, right?
Correct.
So give us what you got going on here.
This is approval of the plan sheet, so it would be signed by the commissioners, our auditor, Vicki, and also Mike. We're preparing this to go out for bids in March through NDOT right now. We're just trying to work on clearing the right-of-way, and once that's cleared and everything, NDOT's going to put this in.
Their program.
Right.
This is one of our larger bridges. It spans the Kankakee River.
It is. It does span the Kankakee River. One of the big things that we're trying to do right now, it has 5 piers in the river that catches a lot of debris on that. We're always down there clearing out debris, especially after major rain events. So we're trying to get this down from 5 down to 3 piers.
3, okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big bridge. This is where we get a lot of flooding down there when we have our flooding events. This is the bridge that's usually impacted. I think we're going to be actually raising the height of the bridge too, right?
We are.
Just engineering, help me out.
Height, I don't think it's a lot. Right
We had
offhand,
the
I
house,
don't know.
the driveway we had to contend with and everything right
Yes.
there too, so.
Yes, I know there's a few driveways that are closed that we're going to have to close off because of the fact that we are raising the level, but it's not a great amount, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
The big effort is going to be getting rid of the 5 columns down to 3.
Correct.
So the
Correct.
debris and a lot of the things can
Correct.
move on down the stream rather than catching up the bridge all the
And
time.
the debris there's just unbelievable.
It is.
It looks like an island.
Scary, too.
Yeah, it is. Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for plan approval for Bridge 62 over the Kankakee River. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Replacement of Bridge 68. What do you got?
What we have here is Federal Highway's version of us requesting a waiver from the design standards. The level 1 is dealing with lane width. On that, we're asking for a reduction in the lane width. I believe it's going from 12 feet down to 11 feet. And with that reduction in lane width on that, we're also asking for a reduction in the clear roadway width on the bridge. And also, there's a waiver we're requesting for the guardrail offset distance on that. So this is approving an application going forward to the Federal Highway to request these design waivers.
And which bridge is this again? 68 where?
Smoke Road,
Over Jones.
Ditch, it's about, 650 south, 675 south, roughly.
Last
in
one
there.
before you get to State Road 8.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Down Smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got that weird alignment, and
Yep.
right south of the bridge, there's that big culvert over it for a driveway.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, got it.
And just to be clear, I mean, this is basically to blend with the existing road conditions north and south. The road's narrower, there's no shoulder north and south, and we're making things better at the bridge, but just there's no reason to completely meet the Indiana design guidelines.
A lot of guardrail down there on the road itself,
Yes.
too, so, because pretty deep ditches down there, so.
Yep.
All right.
Motion to approve?
Second. We have a motion and a second for approval to submit Level 1 and Level 2 design exceptions to the replacement of Bridge 68 to NDOT and FHWA. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign, motion carries. Next up, we have a right-of-way donation to NDOT for State Road 2 and Heveland Road roundabout. I know this is something that the Commissioner's Office has been working on over the last couple of years. There is a roundabout currently that the state of Indiana is planning at Heveland Road and 2, right by our highway garage, out on 2 there. And I think we've been going back and forth on the design. Long story short is the roundabout location is currently changing from the alignment of State Road 2. It's going to be moving north onto some of the county's property there. We pretty much border all the ground around this whole intersection. So what we've basically done is worked out an agreement with NDOT on the amount of land that they needed. And then what we're doing is we're waiving any fees or costs that the county would incur to give up a little bit of land around the edges to make the right-of-way work within the right-of-way. Actually, it also benefited the highway department because I think our front yard at the highway department has increased another 60, 80 feet. So the actual footprint of the highway garage at Porter County and Valpo right now, its yard and footprint will get much bigger. So we're giving a little bit to the north, and we're taking a little bit to the south.
I'm sure the guy mowing that appreciates it.
Yeah. Yep, that's a couple of years away yet, so we'll work through that, but that's what this is for. I think I explained it as best I could. Bob, anything to add, or?
Nope.
And I know all the commissioners have sat in several meetings or one meeting at some point in time to discuss this, so I'll throw it to the board for any discussion or action.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the right-of-way donation to NDOT for State Road 2 and Heveland Road roundabout for NDOT. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Next up, we have railroad pavement markings announced. We are seeking sealed bids. This is for recent NDOT grants received to improve railroad markings for safety.
Correct. Matt applied for this, and we received, I believe, $40,000? Yes, $45,000 on this. Very similar to the program we were awarded, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. On that, it's, again, to improve the pavement markings, the crossbuck that you see on the roads, the stop bars, and striping for the road on that. So, again, we're going to be sending out and asking for sealed bids to come in for this pavement marking. It is 100%, I believe, reimbursable, correct? Yes.
100%?
So there is we pay up front and we get it back.
Okay. That's typical.
Yeah.
All right. So we're basically announcing that we are seeking sealed bids, right?
Correct.
We don't have to take any action, or do we?
No.
Do we?
Take a
All right,
vote.
so we need to take a vote that we're,
Motion to approve the announcement that we're seeking sealed bids.
Second.
we have a motion and a second for seeking sealed bids for railroad pavement markings. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen. Next up, Porter County Substance Abuse Grant Proposal Application. Good morning. So go ahead.
Okay, well, we're here again. Every year we come back for more. And we have sent the proposed grants to the county attorney to approve and read over. And we're just here for your approval of what we have got from the agencies in the prevention, treatment, recovery, criminal justice, and law enforcement areas.
Okay.
So we're seeking your approval.
And you've reviewed it all, Attorney McClure?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion to approve the Porter County Substance Abuse Grant Proposal Application.
Second. We have motion and second for Porter County Substance Abuse Grant Proposal Application. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next year.
Yes, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Last up, we have Valparaiso YMCA, Nate Nunnally. Don't know if we have him here, doesn't look like it. This is a request for approval for the Valpo Y to host the 25th Annual Rainy and Spring 5K, 10K Road Race to be held on Saturday, April 4th, 2020 at 9 o'clock in the morning. A map of the course is included, and we'll start and finish on Cumberland Drive by the YMCA Pavilion. So I'm sure what's happening is they're probably going in and out of county property, or roads, and city roads, so this just blankets them for that.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and second for the Valpo YMCA to host the annual Rainy Spring K 510K to be held on April 4th, 2020 at 9. A map of the course included. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I must be getting hungry. Yeah. Okay, so we're here at the end of the meeting. Anybody wishing to, go ahead.
Yes, we actually, I think this was left off the agenda, we also have another field bid for the assessor's office, it was basically the 2020 assessment.
Oh.
And I was wondering if you, we have the bid, I would expect it.
Let's go ahead and open it.
Rather than waiting until the next meeting and then.
Let's open it.
Gonna come back, you know,
Yeah,
let you know.
it's just better getting it out of the way.
Yeah.
I agree, Tony. Thank you.
What is this a bid for?
This is for, there's two things. One's for the annual adjustment for ratio study that we did out last year, and the other one is for the land order to review land rates. We have to do a land order every 4 years.
So this is for Appraisal Research Corporation. And what's that for? Read that front on there, Scott or Jim.
This is a proposal for the annual adjustment for 2020 and 2021.
This is the 2020 reassessment of neighborhood delineation and land-based rates for Porter County as well. So there's two separate, and those are the only two bids we've gotten.
Yep, one bid each.
So we'll just take those under, we've opened them, take them under advisement, and then next year or first year, come back, we'll put it on the agenda. And okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else wishing to address this board? Rep, come on forward. Thank you.
James Jewell, 796 Lane Parkway. Last month I was here, I asked you guys about why we don't have noise ordinance in Porter County. I had trouble with businesses in my neighborhood. And you guys said you could talk about it, so we could talk about it.
We talked about it at our last meeting, Jim. We can't.
No. At this point in the meeting last month, you guys said you would talk amongst each other. I assume that meant after the meeting at some time before. That didn't happen?
Well, we can't talk amongst each other outside of a public meeting.
Well, then why did you say you would?
Well, I believe that we was going to talk to the attorney, and I believe that the attorney is still looking at whether or not, what kind of ordinance is out there, and if anything like.
I left you a message a month ago,
Mhm.
a phone call, and you didn't return it.
Correct.
I sent to avoid.
Correct.
And you didn't return it.
Yeah, and why did you call me? Because you wanted me to reprimand Commissioner
No.
Biggs, right?
No.
Well, that's what your voicemail was, sir.
Let me ask you this question. What is the gavel for? What is the gavel for? I asked the question.
The gavel's to run the meeting and control the meeting.
Control the meeting.
Right.
So if somebody in this meeting gets up and gets rowdy, you would slam that gavel while it's down, correct?
Yeah.
Then why did you not do that when he started yelling at me about his degrees and everything, and then in September, I believe it was, you had to get in between Mr. Biggs and the Northern Indiana atheists because he was yelling at them. I've watched the video of it. That's not behavior of our
Look, I don't need to be dictated what behavior is tolerable up here, what isn't tolerable up here. Now, wait a second. Hold on a second, okay, then give me the opportunity to explain. They walked into that meeting, they didn't do so much as stand even for the Pledge of Allegiance. And then when he was walking back here, he made eye contact with me, wouldn't break eye contact with me. Look, no, this isn't raising my voice, trust me. And looked at me like he was going to punch me. I'm not going to tolerate that kind of behavior in here. You may be able to get away with that in other places of the country, you're not going to get away with it here, okay?
Your behavior...
That's what the camera couldn't pick up, Jim.
But your behavior to me last week,
Your
sharing your degrees and trying to measure up what you're...
Yeah, but Jim, you're trying to tell me what's the law and what's not the law, okay? That's part of my job here to lay out the facts as I know them, when I'm addressing certain...
Okay, I have another question for you. Do you remember our conversation on the phone when we first talked? You first talked to me about this issue with McDonald's.
Yes.
Do you remember what you said to me?
We had two conversations.
But do you remember what you said to me?
Well, I said, we
No, I asked you the question.
I'm trying to answer the question. What part of the conversation? Because both of them were lengthy.
About businesses not wanting to feel the wrath of a commissioner. Your words, not mine.
I never said that to
Yes,
you,
you did.
Jim. I never said that
Yes,
to
you
you.
did.
No, I would have never said
You're
that.
lying.
Well, that's
You did say
good.
that.
Look, if you want to sit down and talk about this, calmly, I'll be more than happy to do that.
As long as you're going to be...
But you're not happy with me, and you're not happy with this board because we've told you something we cannot do, because
No.
we don't have it within our authority to do it.
Yes, you do. You have a right to create an ordinance as a county. You just choose not to.
No.
And your whole thing on this is...
Look, this board has not even discussed, Jim.
McDonald's, but as soon as you talk to the business, your whole attitude went 180 degrees. You were all sympathetic with me about tractor trailers sitting in front of...
Yeah, I do. I agree, but it wasn't this board that approved that zoning. So I don't know why you're angry at us.
I'm angry at you because you're not willing to listen to me about
Well,
trying to do something in the
Jim, I
county.
called you twice. You've been in front of this board twice.
And we've gotten nowhere.
No, because you want us to move at the pace that you want us to move.
No, I just want to know where we are.
We can't just arbitrarily create ordinances that we find out later that aren't
What steps do
enforceable.
we need to do to make it happen? I've been asking the question and nobody's giving me a straight answer.
Well, first we need to have the discussion of whether or not we feel that we need one, and whether or not, if we create one, whether or not it's enforceable. We're not going to, we can
Next
pass.
month, a week before the meeting, do I need to write in here and do agenda and have an agenda meeting so I can go up there during the meeting and ask the question for an ordinance?
This is the same, talking now.
I'm just asking the question.
And I'm just
To get it on record.
I'm just answering it, that's all.
Okay.
My experience in talking to other officers is that those noise ordinances aren't enforceable.
They are, just like we don't have body cameras on our Porter County sheriffs. And
We do.
We do?
Yeah, 2 years, where you been?
I've not seen them. I had an
Well,
officer at my house
well-
less than 2 years ago.
Well, we
had one.
paid for them, let's put them that
Well,
way.
I've not seen an officer with one.
Okay.
They all have. Our Porter County officers
They all
have body cams and dash cams.
Jim, let me ask you a question. Did the management of McDonald's put a restraining order on you? Okay.
For my voice, for being loud on their property.
I could kind of see that.
But
Like I said, if you want to sit and talk about this calmly,
I'm home right now.
and I'll, if you want to talk about, what I have or what I haven't done, or what I'm willing to do and what I'm willing not to do. We can talk about that. I understand you being upset, but the business has rights as well. And we're not going to trample on those, just like we wouldn't trample on...
How about you give me your address, and I will go rent a really loud truck, and 3 days a week, I'm going to come sit in front of your house.
Yeah, that'd probably get you in trouble.
With what?
Well...
There's no noise ordinance in Chesterton, you told me that.
Well, Jim, they're bringing the truck in there to do business. You want to pull a truck in my house just to get under my skin. There's a big difference.
I'm just asking you, it's the same thing.
I told you, I understand why you're upset, but I can't move your home and I can't move that business.
But you could make that business put a cement brick wall around it to cut down the noise. But you don't want to do that because you side with the businesses, just like the rest of our government. It doesn't care about the residents.
Jim, we cannot.
If this board were to pass a noise ordinance and it was enforceable, it would not, under any circumstances, create a situation in which it would mandate a wall being built.
I could have an officer come shut that truck down, sitting there running for 2 hours.
That may or may not be true. I'm just pointing
I'm
out
saying
it's
it
never...
could be
Let me
level
finish. I let you talk. If we had a noise ordinance and it was enforceable, it would not have a penalty in which walls would have to be built. It would be potentially a ticket situation. That's what it would be.
Or the officer making them turn the noise off.
I just said a ticket.
No, they wouldn't make them turn the noise off. You're telling me no.
I'm not telling you no. I'm trying to talk to you, but you're very excited, and I'm trying to explain it. Some of this you don't want to know, because it's not the answers that are the easy ones, but a noise ordinance in this county would be exceedingly difficult, and it would be exceedingly difficult to enforce. Number one, the reason why it would be exceedingly difficult is this unincorporated part of the county, not the cities and towns, but the unincorporated part is going from everything from 10-acre home lots to houses that are sitting on very small lots, very close to each other, but the zoning still remains the same. We are not allowed to just put a noise ordinance in one area of unincorporated Porter County. When we start talking about enforcement, then you have to realize that this would be the Sheriff's Department enforcing, at which the amount of officers that are on a given shift in a given evening is restricted, and so therefore having the ability to have a noise meter, a decibel meter available with that particular officer on that particular shift, on the particular Wednesday night that whatever is happening, is part of the reasons why enforcement, it may be possible, but it becomes practically impossible. That's what I'm trying to...
Scott, one of the things is, Jim, that machine also has to be calibrated periodically. The officer using that machine has to be trained to use it. Well, Jim, this county just spent well over $1 million just for new radios this past year. Our pockets are only so deep. And if you feel that strongly, and I'll call Sheriff Reynolds beforehand and ask him to receive your call. If you feel that strongly about it, talk to Sheriff Reynolds as to whether or not he wants his men and women to be enforcing an ordinance like that, and to be trained on that type of equipment, and to purchase that.
Mr. Reynolds, the sheriff?
Well, for another 3 years and 2 months.
Okay, I just understood he wasn't running on the next election.
Well, he just ran. He's in his first year of his 4-year term.
Let's set it up. I'll talk to him if he's willing to talk to me about it.
I just want you to understand that nobody's angry with you up here. It's just that what upsets us is when you get upset thinking that we don't care. I would motion for a pass of noise ordinance in a second if I thought it was really the answer here. But I don't believe it's the answer. I think the answer is having good communication between you and McDonald's and that store's management.
I tried doing that.
Well, you can't do that if you're going to have restraining orders thrown against you.
That happened way at the end. I started working with the franchisees first before I ever was trying to talk to the manager of the restaurant. And when this incident you're talking about, I called that morning and asked Nancy, the manager of McDonald's, why there was a truck in their parking lot at 2 a.m. running a motor in a normal voice, just like yours. And she hung up on me. So I put on my shoes and I walked over to the restaurant. There wasn't a customer in the store. And I said, Nancy, why'd you hang up the phone on me? That wasn't very professional. And she said, you were yelling at me. I said, no, Nancy, this is yelling. And she called 911. That's what I was trespassed for. Sounds real bad, doesn't it?
Well,
That's all right. I have to get rid of hospices because of their garbage and the field across my house. When I get home today, I'm calling the health department.
before you leave, I will give you my cell phone number. I don't give out my cell phone number, but I will give it to you, okay? I have to leave town at the end of this afternoon. When I get back into town, which is Thursday afternoon, give me a call. We'll set a date. I'll come over. If you want to sit in your front room, into your driveway, whatever, we'll talk some more, okay? All right. All right.
Okay? Yep. All right, and with that, anybody else wishing to address this board? And with that, this board stands in recess. Have a great day, everyone.